as long as you know what you're doing can sustain you and you are working to make it sustain you, do it.
Chasing in the park, dancing in the dark. Maybe you were right, maybe I was hard. You just gotta see it like the old white swan. You feel the Amazon.
What's up, everybody? I'm Jack, and this is the Pure World Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. Today, we have Jackie.
Hello.
Jackie, for anybody who's listening who doesn't know who you are, do you want to give them a quick rocket pitch?
Yes. So I'm Jackie, Jackaallack. I am a photographer from Providence, Rhode Island. I grew up in Narragansett. I'm living in Providence now, and I do food photography, wedding photography, and I own a couple of businesses.
Super cool.
Yeah.
For somebody who has never been to Rhode Island before,
Oh, boy.
like imagine, I don't know, someone from Texas or Oregon, like how would you describe Rhode Island?
Rhode Island is obviously teeny tiny state where everybody... The smallest, and where everybody knows everybody, which has the best beaches and the best food.
Ooh, that's that's a hot take right there.
Yes.
You grew up in Narragansett, which is like a super popular town
Sure is.
and place. It's the home of the University of Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm.
So, like growing up on the border of Rhode Island, but in Massachusetts, we had so many kids who went to URI who like spent 4 years in Narragansett.
Yep.
Of course, traveling to go to the beach there.
Always.
It is like a really special place.
Yeah.
What was it like growing up in almost like a tourist like
tourist
vacation
attraction?
town?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
And
great.
a college town too.
That's true too. It was fun. I mean, I feel like you take it for granted growing up there. You think that there's everywhere is like that, and it's obviously one of the most beautiful places. I feel like as an adult now, I appreciate it a lot more, but as a kid, I was always just like, there's so much more to do everywhere else.
Interesting.
But it was fun. I mean, having the ocean in your backyard is a wild experience. I can't imagine being landlocked, and
Right.
I love it. I'll never leave Rhode Island.
Really?
I'll never leave Rhode Island.
I know. I've been thinking that Rhode Island could be the spot,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. I don't know for sure. It is a special place.
It is
for
definitely.
sure. And tell me a little bit about where your head was, say, junior year of high school, when
Boy.
you were just starting to kind of like realize that you have to figure something out.
It's actually funny you say that because junior year is when I bought my first camera.
Okay.
I had a summer job. I was a snack bar girl at the beach club. So I would scoop ice cream and French fries and serve them. And so I saved up the money to buy a camera.
Which camera?
I bought a Canon Rebel. That was my
Yeah,
first
which one? The
camera.
T6 or T
Oh God.
T5 or something?
I want to say it was a T5.
Back then, yeah.
I think it was a T5.
Okay.
And I took it everywhere.
Great camera, by the way.
Such a good
I
camera.
had the T6.
The Canon is like, the Canon Rebel is the best starter camera in my opinion.
So-
like you can't go wrong.
For
Can't go
anybody
wrong.
who's watching and you want a
Yes.
camera,
Canon Rebel.
Canon Rebel. Yeah.
And I found a group of friends to go and shoot with, and we were attached at the hip,
Nice.
and we shot everything everywhere. And that's when I knew I wanted to do photography.
Yeah.
So I applied to a bunch of art schools, and I ended up going to URI for business because I figured photography, I would have to run my own business. So I went and I did that.
Wow. So you were already kind of thinking that you might have to run your own business,
Absolutely.
like in high school.
I was hoping. I wasn't counting on it, but I was hoping I'd be running my own business.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I back when I was a junior, I was trying to decide where I wanted to go to school and for what.
Yep.
And my options were become an engineer and create things, go and be a lawyer and solve problems,
Yep. Yep.
or become a businessman
Yep.
and do a little bit of both.
Yeah. It's so hard to know then. I feel like you're still a kid. It's so hard to decide what your life is going to look like at that point. I feel like my
Yeah.
head was in 15 different places then. And you should kind of put your foot in everything and see what you like.
Business is the blanket that encapsulates all careers.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
Like, that's what people get employed by, businesses.
Right.
And so if you understand that atmosphere, then you kind of have an idea
Yeah.
of everything.
Absolutely.
And you can go into any single vertical
Yeah.
in business, like
Literally-
photography.
Literally anything.
So when you were going out on these early photo shoots, because I remember my first photo shoots,
Yes.
what was your thought process? What were you looking to capture?
At the time, I was still obsessed with food. My mom was the manager of a big restaurant in Narragansett,
Okay.
George's Galley.
Okay.
And so she let me go and shoot the food for fun, which they ended up using in social media. So I already had loved food, but with the friends, I would just learn from them. I would just watch them. I would ask them everything.
Yeah.
Shout out to Derek Hogan.
Okay.
And I would just copy everything they did. And at the time, it was a lot of landscapes and a lot of portraits. We would take portraits of each other. And it was all just like really learning the craft and figuring it out. But I also, at the time, was trying to shoot everything I possibly could to see where my passion fell.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I wanted to do birthdays and events or if I wanted to do food or just portraits. I feel like I had to try everything to just figure out what my skill was.
What a luxury to like choose the
Yes.
thing that you want to do most. Whereas like
Absolutely.
a lot of people are just like, yeah, I have to
Oh my
do this
gosh.
thing. I was thinking your early experience in food
Yep.
is maybe one of the most like suitable for starting a photography business because
Absolutely.
other than commercial photography where you're like working with commercial products, but like who's got a commercial product for
Right.
me to like take photos and videos of? I luckily did. That's what got
That's
my
true.
start. Is like
Yeah.
I had these backpacks
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
I had a purpose
Yeah.
of what I was filming. It was
Yeah.
all to get people to want these backpacks. So
Yep.
I had a clear vision of what I was shooting. But
Yeah.
food is like one thing where you're like, your purpose is to make people want
Yep.
this
Make their
food,
mouth water.
make their mouth water, get the lighting, get
Yep.
everything right.
Yep. Stage it.
And there are businesses who
Oh, yeah.
want that. And
There
so you
will-
have such an opportunity to actually make
Yeah.
money because otherwise it's just like a passion thing and there's no real route to
Yeah.
making money.
Yeah.
But with food,
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
It's
There will
clear.
never not be food.
yeah.
There will never not be a restaurant needing pictures of their
Yeah.
food. They'll always exist.
There'll always be
They will-
menus.
Yes.
There will always be
Food photos will
social
never go out
media
of
for
style.
restaurants.
Everyone's always going to need food photos.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I think about that as well because I'm starting like a marketing agency
Yeah.
as well. And we should talk about that
Yeah.
maybe a little bit later.
Absolutely.
But yeah, the food environment for photography is huge.
Mm-hmm.
So what else? You said you were, I think another is like weddings, senior portraits.
Weddings, portraits.
And then like models kind of want
Kind
their
of.
I want to talk about that
Yeah.
though. The whole relationship between photographers and
Yeah,
models because
sure.
that's interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
What
Yeah.
is your take on it? And I'm sure you get models who come into your DMs maybe and want to shoot with you or you go into models DMs.
So I don't do it as much anymore. I feel like in the beginning, when you're getting started on Instagram, that's a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Working with models, working with influencers, you benefit each other that
Yeah.
way. It's a great way to network, meet people, hone in on that craft, etc. Right now, I kind of work with one model very consistently. Buns and Bites,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
food blogger. If you're from Rhode Island, you know who she is. And she's been absolutely wonderful to work with. She
Cool.
reached out to me, and we've been working together for, I want to say 4 or 5 years now. And I do all of her food photography and also everything she posts on her account. I take pictures of her eating the food,
Nice.
modeling with the food, and it's the best experience ever.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And is that a paid relationship?
It's a paid relationship.
So
but
it's
also
basically
very
a
loving
client, but it's
relationship.
like a client kind of
Yes,
somewhat. And
yes.
so that's really important, I
Yes.
think, because I work with models a lot as well in the Rhode Island area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have a commercial purpose.
Yes.
I have actual revenue that could be generated
Yep.
from our photos.
Absolutely.
But what about the models who
Don't want
who
that.
well, who aren't
Yeah.
doing it for commercial purposes?
Right.
What does that relationship look like? Because it's like, do they pay you, or are
that's
you
the
building your
thing.
portfolio and you feel like
That's
you
the
need to pay
thing.
them? Is there money
Yes.
exchange?
I feel very strongly about this.
Yeah,
actually.
that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
It's an interesting
Yes.
topic.
So, in my opinion, I feel like if the model is asking the photographer to shoot, they should be paying the photographer. If the photographer is asking the model to shoot, if they have a rate, they should be paying that model. If it's just a thing where they're both inspired and want to work together, that needs to be agreed on. No one should really expect free things. And I feel like if you are reaching out and asking someone for a service, you should expect to pay for it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's everyone's time is valuable.
Yeah.
And unless you both have a agreed on creative idea that you both want to work on together and just make happen,
Yeah.
that's what it's got to be.
One thing that interests me is the boudoir
Yes.
atmosphere of
We love
photography.
boudoir. Yes.
But like, what about like when it's a man shooting boudoir? Does it ever get to be like a little bit creepy? And like, for that reason, would they be expected to like I feel like the photographer pays the models
Right.
to shoot them in boudoir.
Right. I mean, that all depends. You know,
Yeah.
if the photographer is offering that service and someone is obviously paying
Mm-hmm.
for that. But if a photographer is hiring a model to do the boudoir, if that's what they do,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Because then it gets even crazier with like bondage photography.
yes.
Like we
yes.
don't have to go too deep into it, but like there's some like
If that's a thing,
where they're
I'm
tied
reaching
up.
out. I'm reaching out to every woman that's ever worked with him to make sure that's a safe space to be in.
absolutely,
Absolutely.
absolutely, yeah. Let's move on from that subject though.
Yes.
So you're starting to wrap up high school,
Yep.
and where does your head go? You end up going to URI, right?
I go to URI
for business.
For business. I do it for a year, and then I switch, and I get my degree in early education.
Interesting.
Yes.
Because this whole time leading up to it, you were thinking photography.
Mm-hmm.
I want business, acumen, so that you understand how to run your photography business. But then you switched to
And then I'm like, what if that doesn't work out? What if my business
Interesting.
doesn't take off?
yeah.
So I switched to early
Mm-hmm.
education. I'm great with kids. I know that I'm good at it. I have a backup degree now. But while I'm doing that, my photography career does take off.
Wow.
And it's popping right off, and I'm getting very busy.
Mm-hmm.
So I continue to get that degree, and I also work really hard on my own business in the meantime.
What an interesting time in everyone's life where they kind of go through like a crisis of like, what if the path I'm going on doesn't work out?
I ask myself that every single
Do
day.
you regret having gone into changing your path from business to that other one, or do you still feel like that was?
I don't regret it.
Mm-hmm.
Part of me wishes I went into the marketing direction just
Yeah.
because that's where my life ended up.
Right.
But at the time, it made sense for me, and I
Yeah.
feel like it is something I could always go back to if it's something I wanted. I mean, you never know where your
Right.
passion's gonna lie later in life. So I don't regret it, but I do wish that I had taken, maybe did like a double major or
Yeah.
something where I did get more of the business, because I always knew somewhere down the line I'd end up doing something
if you were
business-wise.
speaking to somebody who's listening who
Yes.
is, freshman or
Teeter.
sophomore in
Yes.
college, they've already made up their mind
Yes.
once,
Yes.
and now they're second guessing themselves. Do you have any advice for someone who's considering changing their majors?
I think just do what you gotta do. I think it's okay to change your major. It's okay to change your mind. Follow what your gut is telling you to do. It's all gonna work out. Everything's gonna work out. And as long as you set your mind to what you want to do, you'll make it happen.
Yeah, I like the idea of following your gut. What
Yeah.
about getting advice from others? How much should you weigh the opinions of other people, especially like family members? Who
If I
might
had
be-
listened to my family, don't get me wrong, my family was extremely supportive.
Yeah.
But I did get the question a lot of, so when are you going to get a real job? When is that going to happen? And it wasn't until I was like paying my own mortgage that my family was like, oh, your photography career is a real career.
Yeah.
As long as you know what you're doing can sustain you and you are working to make it sustain you, do it. Any job can be a job. Anything you want to do, any hobby, any career, anything can be a job as long as you keep working for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's so many people out there with dreams that give up on them.
Absolutely.
They don't see them through long enough because they do get the criticism from people who care about them.
I always say, if I can do it, if little shy girl from Narragansett can do it, anyone can do it.
Yeah.
Anyone can have their own business. It's the way of the world.
And how was URI? Tell me a little bit about like the college experience there. Did you live on campus, or you already lived in?
I didn't get the full college experience because I already lived in the college neighborhood. I mean, I lived with my family in the college neighborhood, but I was a commuter. And I ended up finishing my degree with URI through CCRI. So I had just lived the major commuter life. So I didn't really get that full college experience, which I kind of regret. But I also feel like it led me to where I am. Totally. So I don't totally regret it.
Yeah, and I think that's totally fine, and everybody has their own college experiences.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people don't have college experiences, and that's totally fine.
Absolutely.
Well. There's so much. It's funny, like, speaking to my friends who I've reconnected with friends who I didn't speak to since, like, high school, who didn't go to college. Yeah. And they grew so much during the 4 years too. Yeah. And so much happened, and
it's a crazy 4 years.
It's what a crazy time in your life, that
Absolutely.
18 to 22.
Big time.
Yeah. What would you say like are the biggest lessons you learned from 18 to 22?
I would say from 18 to 22, no one cares what you're doing as much as you do. Yeah. No one's thinking of you as much as you do, which I still struggle with, but I started to like come into my own a little bit more, I think. I think owning your own business, it's important. For me, I learned it's important to have multiple streams. So to really try to get your foot in as many doors as you can, especially during those years. During those years, you can do literally anything you want, and it's okay. If it doesn't work out, you're still only 18 to 22. You have endless years to keep trying. So just do anything and everything, even if it's maybe a bad idea. Just try it. Just try it. You're allowed to make mistakes in your 20s.
Facts.
I
heard someone once say, your 20s are for trying absolutely everything. Your 30s are for finding what you're actually good at.
I love that.
Your 40s are for making money, doing what you're actually good at. And
I love that.
Give or take. I mean, come on. Like, you got to make money now. Before you're 40 years old.
Absolutely. I'm 27 now, and I'm almost 27. But I am always like, am I like running out of time to like be rich? And I feel like I still got some time.
Yeah, of course you do. Time. Yeah. I think that it just comes down to, I like to think of success, especially like financial success, of like, it's a numbers game. Yeah. How many hours can I put in to being dedicated to this goal? Yeah. The more you put into it, the more likely you're going to get the outcome that you want. Absolutely. And so it's like, can you be working harder? Yeah. Then work harder. Yeah, then work harder and push yourself. Yeah. And that is a competitive mindset. Yeah. It's not for everybody. It is only for the people who feel that they are destined for that greatness. Absolutely. If you're thinking to yourself, I want to be rich, then you better be thinking to yourself, can I put in more effort to get there?
Absolutely. Maybe that's another thing where it's in your 20s, you work as hard as you can. And 30s, you learn to work smarter and not harder.
Yeah. Smarter, not harder. Sure. And I think we see that in a lot of places in society, especially in like the corporate world. Absolutely. And no shade to anybody who's in the corporate world, but I do know that right out of college, you work kind of like a workhorse. And not in all environments, but in a lot of them, you are the wheels that are turning the company and the mechanism. And you're not necessarily getting wealthy. Right. But you're getting other people wealthy.
Sure are.
You are the workhorse who is driving the cog. Yep. And I challenge myself to work as hard as I see my peers working who are in the corporate environment,
Absolutely.
I don't get rewarded as well.
Yes.
In the short term.
In the long term.
In the long term, I'd
Yep.
like to hope that it's building wealth,
Yep.
which is different than income.
Absolutely. But also living a life where you get to kind of call all your own shots is
That's crazy.
nuts.
Do you ever struggle with the idea that like you're your own boss and all of the decisions that are made are on your shoulders?
I love it. I
Yeah.
can't imagine anything else. Like, I can't imagine sitting at a desk ever again, like working for someone else. I feel like I like knowing that anything I do is my own doing, and that I'm not doing it for someone else, and it's all on my like I kind of like carrying that weight.
Yeah.
Because I decide where it goes, and I build that for myself.
One thing that I struggle with sometimes in running a business is knowing that every single mistake is like, it boils down to my fault.
But you learn from that.
Yeah.
You're always learning.
Yeah, that's true. And
Yeah.
and talk about the most real consequences of your actions. Because if you are working for someone else's business and you mess up
Who cares?
and you lose
Not
them
my
all
problem.
a bunch of money, it's their problem. You're
Exactly.
still getting paid.
Yep, exactly.
But if you make a mistake with your own business,
Yep.
it impacts your
It's all
own
on you.
income.
Less likely to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you work with a team?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Tell
Yes,
me
I
a
do.
little bit about what you
So-
perceive to be your team.
So with my photography, it's all me. But within other things, I work with a team. So we just launched a social media marketing company, which
Okay,
is
tell me
3 of
about it.
us. Buns and Bites and our friend Sasha. And we all have our own skills. So we work with a team, which has been so nice because whatever thing we lack on, the other person carries for us.
Awesome.
Whatever's giving us anxiety, the other person can kind of carry on for us. And with the food photography, it's great because I have Laura, Buns and Bites, who usually comes with me to every shoot, or I come with her to all of her shoots, and we kind of help each other. So especially when it comes to styling food at shoots, she's always holding the food for me to kind of, cheese pull.
Yeah.
Having that person come with you kind of takes
Totally.
the edge off, but also helps make the photos look even better than what I could do by
Absolutely.
myself.
Oh, I feel
So
that.
we're very big on holding each other accountable, making sure things are getting done, doing anything that needs to be done. It's so much better to work with a team. I think it just makes the process a lot easier and kind of takes the weight off your shoulders a little bit.
What was your thinking when you decided that you wanted to start a marketing agency?
So we've been doing it anyway.
Right.
Photography is obviously such a big part of what marketing is today. I mean, it's always been, but especially with social media, you need constant content.
Yeah.
Just always, always, always. And with Laura's company, Buns and Bites, she is such a big brand in Rhode Island that restaurants want to be working with her. And she has made professional photography such a big part of her brand that together a lot of companies want menu shoots. They want her to make reels for them, etc. And that's something that we can offer in so many different ways.
So you guys focus on the food industry in
Yes,
Rhode
we've
Island.
branched out a little bit more. We do other things, but I would say restaurants are the biggest for us.
I've heard with starting a marketing agency that it's kind of that, like, one piece of advice that I was listening to was when you start your marketing agency, you're going to want to be a full stack marketing agency, but that is not, in this person's advice, that's not the best way to do it, because what you want to do is you want to find what you're actually good at and also what you can get paid for.
Right.
And then build that
Branch from
niche.
there. Yeah,
well,
for sure.
and like have that identity of like, this is who we are.
Gotcha.
We are
Yep.
the restaurant
Right.
marketing
Yes.
company that
Yes.
you would want to go to. If you're a
Yes.
restaurant and you're
Yep.
thinking about looking
Where
for a
are your
marketing
gals?
company,
Yep.
we are built for
Yep.
you. For me right now, my marketing company I consider it full stack,
Yep.
which is
Yep.
like, I could go into all different verticals of like, yeah, we are only a podcast editing company.
Right,
You
right.
film your podcast, send it to us.
Yep.
Our editing team will edit it up. And I
Yeah.
think that could be really lucrative, especially for my time, because I have a team who can
Right.
help me with that.
Right.
But I just want to help businesses succeed and be able to provide them with every single thing that they need.
Absolutely.
And so I'm not struggling. I'm just like trying to navigate my way through what it looks like to create an agency that helps other businesses.
Yeah.
How long have you been running yours for?
Oh God, let's say 6 or 7 years now.
Oh wow.
Our marketing
with other clients.
So the marketing company technically just launched.
Okay.
We've been running several restaurant social medias and marketing for, I want to say like a year and a half now. But the running my own business and working with other clients has been 6 or 7 years now, which has been a ride. But it's also crazy in those 6 and 7 years how much media has changed and how it's just constantly changing. And you always have to be on top of it.
Yeah.
Like even just Reels, they switched from photo to video and now they're starting to go back to photo, but they still want endless video. It's just constantly new things.
Let's talk a little bit more about the state of social media right now.
Yeah.
What are some trends or changes that you've seen? You were talking about photos and videos, but what are you seeing going on right now?
So Instagram was obviously just photos for a while, and now it's Reels because of TikTok. You need to be posting TikToks 6 times a day, 3 to 6 times a day. You need to be researching audio trends, whatever audios are trending. You need to make those within 48 hours, and then that's over. And now Instagram wants to go back to photos, so they want you to do carousels of 3 to 10 photos every day. So you need to be posting a photo and then a reel with a trending audio and then a carousel. And you need to constantly be doing that. It's crazy.
Yeah. One little like change that I've also observed is the whole subscription.
Yes, I'm still learning that.
Yeah, and I even just got a notification recently, actually a bunch of notifications in a short period of time about people with a channel for them to like a broadcast.
Okay.
Like it's a broadcast channel or something. I think that's the word that they're using.
Okay.
And I don't really know. I guess it's kind of like a way for them to send a daily message to everybody who's been invited to be part of their broadcast. So like imagine like a group chat of 1,000 people.
Right.
But the creator is the one who's sending the message to all of them. Like, hey, everybody, just got finished with my run for the day.
Yeah.
Thought to myself, man, sometimes life can be really hard, but if you just push on through, everything can be okay.
Yeah.
You might feel better afterwards. And like send a message to like all of your community.
Oh, shoot.
And that's the idea. Like, just made breakfast. Hope you guys start your day with a healthy choice. I don't like...
Have some egg whites
It's
today.
the idea of like creating a broadcast, which I think they're really starting to build tools for influencers.
Definitely.
Because they might know that influencers the content is what brings people to the platform.
Absolutely.
And so if you can get the best content on your platform, then it gives reason for people to come to your platform.
Yep. That's the thing with Instagram is I feel like they are so creator friendly, but they also make it so hard for creators. Yeah. At the same rate. It's tough.
They're so big and complicated, and also they like kind of dock your exposure.
Yeah.
But
also, message to Instagram. Make it easier to contact you for support. Please and thank you.
Well, it's funny you say that. So, have you seen that you can buy a blue check?
I have seen that.
A verification?
Yes.
I don't think it's available in the United States. It's like available in Australia right now. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's not available in America, but I'm sure it's coming soon. Oh, it's a monthly subscription.
It is?
I'll tell you what, I'm paying for it.
Are you? I've heard that like through agencies you can like if you're with an agency they can buy you the check mark.
Yeah, and I'll explain that in a second. But with this verification, it comes with a couple different features. One is that your comments will get shown at the top of all posts. like almost like priority. Like
yeah,
if
like a celebrity.
if Miley
see a bunch of-
Cyrus
yeah.
commented on your post, it
Right.
would be the first one that everyone
Ah,
sees. So if you're verified, yours comes up to the top. This is
Okay.
obviously inspired by Twitter's,
Right. Right.
buying of check marks. But then another thing is priority customer service
Okay. Love that.
with direct,
I would
with
pay
like a
for
with like a
that.
direct like contact. Like you can actually chat with somebody, a real person. Yeah, because like they don't have that right now. But also
Yeah.
they're dealing with so many people.
Oh my gosh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I was struggling
yeah.
like when Reels first started because I was one of like the last accounts to get access to Reels and I was like my engagement is
too.
falling because I can't make Reels, but you guys won't let me make Reels.
Totally.
And there's
with ya.
I would like send like a daily support thing being like, give me Reels, give me Reels, give me Reels. Nothing ever came. I had to wait like 6 months before I got Reels.
Yeah.
Sad.
So in terms of like buying your check mark through some sort of agency,
Yeah.
the idea of a check mark is you have to prove your
Like
notability, notoriety.
Yeah.
And so what those agencies do, that's really expensive,
Okay.
$5,000 to $20,000.
Jesus.
And what they do is they get articles
Yeah.
of your business. It's PR.
Yeah.
They get articles of your business written in
Okay.
notable,
Yeah. Wow.
like Forbes.
Yeah, for sure.
Like they have an in with a writer, with
Wow.
like a low writer. And like
Yeah.
it's not going to be in the print. It's not going to be on the front page.
Yeah.
But it is going to be like, it's going to be in the database.
Wow.
And it'll say Forbes at the top of your little article. And then you get to put it in your website. Like as seen on
Of course.
Forbes,
Yeah, right,
or as
right.
seen on wherever.
Right.
Yeah, people pay for that.
Wow. I never knew that.
Yeah, and so
That's
it costs a
crazy.
lot of money. And so like you could be like, yeah, I remember seeing people like agents, like
Yeah.
a dude from India
Yeah.
sending me an email.
Yeah.
Be like, you want to be on Forbes?
Yeah.
$1,000.
Yeah. Wow.
And I can get you because I have a guy who will write an article
Yeah.
for $800.
Okay.
I pay him $800. He puts it, he does it so his boss doesn't realize it.
Right, right.
And then
Wow.
yeah, so that's the
wild.
idea of it. And that's earned media. If you do it in the organic way without paying for it, you're
Right.
earning the media,
Right.
and you do that by doing spectacular things.
Right.
And so we've done it actually successful. Pure World put on this community scavenger hunt
Okay.
once a couple years ago, and the entire idea behind running this scavenger hunt was I want the newspaper to write about it.
Cool. Yeah.
And so
Smart.
doing things like that to earn the media,
Yeah.
if you get written about in enough publications,
Yep.
then you can
Okay.
get verified.
Cool.
You could get verified and have 3,000 followers.
Right.
I see some like music
Yeah.
artists
Yeah. All
who
the
are
time.
verified.
Wild.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
wild. There's
Yeah.
a lot that you can do with social media.
Yeah.
How about Be Real?
Be real.
I saw
Be
that
Real.
TikTok has like a Be Real feature.
They sure do. They sure do.
Do you use it?
I use it every now and again.
Mhm.
Not as I feel like that's like a very Gen Z thing.
Yeah.
But I try. I'll do it like my shoots where it's like me and then my like spread of food after
Uh-huh.
I'm done with the shoot. But that's like it's really only for my friends.
I never
I
do
won't
it.
do it on TikTok.
Uh-huh.
Only on Be Real.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't even have the app, and
Yeah.
I don't do it on
I have like 3
TikTok.
friends. That's the extent of it for me.
Yeah. I don't even manage my own TikTok accounts. Like I don't post on social media.
For sure.
But it's such a powerful tool.
Absolutely.
today.
Everything you can be on, you should be on. If you're
Yeah.
trying to be big on social media.
Right. If
Just
you have the drive.
do it all, even if it's cringy. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your third business.
My third business, Pinky Swear. My
Yeah.
little clothing store.
Yeah. So what is it? How did you start it?
Yeah. So basically, I am obsessed with clothes. I love buying clothes.
Mhm.
I have an overly filled closet. And so I hit up my friend one day and was like, what if we just like you model, I take photos. This would be so easy for us. We could
Mhm.
have free clothes and just get everything we want. Why not do it? And she was like, hell yeah, why not? Let's do it. So we decided to start Pinky Swear, which is basically just a cute and comfortable clothing line. We're not
Cool.
trying to really stick to trends. We're just trying to buy things we like that would be comfortable and that we think other people might like.
Mm-hmm.
Things that we would put in our own closets.
Nice.
So we have like the comfiest sweatpants you'll ever put on your body. They're just
Nice.
buttery and soft. And
What's the price?
They're very affordable.
Okay.
Very affordable. We will not charge anyone anything more than what we would pay for. So everything's
Cool.
between as low as $5
Mm-hmm.
to as high as maybe $60.
Okay.
And that's for like a really, really nice jacket.
Yeah.
So we're really not trying to make profit off of it. We are just trying to have access to nice, comfy clothes and trying to keep it as sustainable as possible, because I'm a big fan of that. I don't love fast fashion.
Yeah.
So we want things that are going to last in your closet for a long time.
Really cool.
Yeah.
How many different products do you sell?
Mm-hmm.
And do you hold the inventory, or are they one-offs? Are they like
We
limited
hold inventory.
inventories?
We will do some of our own sweatshirts. We'll do like Providence tees and
Cool.
crew necks. We've done some like pinky swear, like Halloween witchy
Yeah.
type things. And then we have like a baseline of sweatpants and tank tops that we'll always have. We go through them like crazy. It's what everyone
Nice.
loves. So we always have those, but then we'll also get some like seasonal things that we'll get very limited quantity of.
Mhm.
And once it's out, it's out.
How long have you been running this for?
We've had it for about 2 years now.
Cool.
Yeah.
And how do you market it?
It's all Instagram. Everything's Instagram.
Organic?
Organic.
Okay.
Yes, we don't really pay for any ads.
Yeah.
The nice thing is with us is that we are on social media so much that we can incorporate it into, we'll just wear it.
Yeah.
So whenever we post a picture of ourselves, we're likely wearing the brand already, and it just kind of works for itself.
Cool. Why don't you pay for advertising? Like, have you thought about running advertisements?
I honestly just haven't thought about it too
Yeah.
much. We've been in talks about it. We have a friend that's getting certified in like paid ads.
Yeah.
So we actually have a sit down meeting with her next week to
Okay.
learn more about it.
Got it.
We're just so used to the things we already do and just
Yeah.
like reels and photography that it's just outside of our comfort zone.
Yeah,
So
I get
we're
that.
learning about it. Yeah.
That's what like launched Pure World
Yeah.
in its earliest days.
Yeah.
Like when I started running it full time,
Yeah.
the paid advertising was the fuel on the flame that actually like
Cool.
made us explode. And
Yeah.
without it,
Yeah.
I don't think we'd be here
For sure.
today.
For sure.
And so I recommend it. I think it is probably the most inexpensive exposure you can get,
Yeah.
other than the free exposure
Yeah.
you get from your organic.
Yeah.
But
Now I have a question for you.
yeah,
When you pay for ads
Mhm.
on Instagram,
yeah.
do you feel like it takes away from your organic stuff? Because I feel like once you give them money, they might hold back
Oh, totally.
views so that
Yeah.
you give them more money.
Oh, yeah. That's how I felt for a long time.
Yeah. I think that's where my fear lies.
That's how I felt for a long time. And then I realized that it was just the content that we were putting out that
Okay.
wasn't
just not
great.
performing well.
it. And so, yeah, this is something we've definitely learned. We were putting out always 3 times a day
Mhm.
a photo that we took of like somebody with a backpack on.
Okay. Yeah.
But and maybe like an adventure video
Yeah.
that we edited up together. But that's not really what people want.
Right.
That's an advertisement.
right. Right.
That
For
is
sure.
like somebody turned around
Yep.
with their face like not
Yeah.
to the camera. That
Right.
is a straight up advertisement.
Definitely.
And so we were putting out advertisements
Mhm.
for all of our posts.
Right.
And then we posted a meme.
Oh, and
And
Just popped right
yeah,
off.
so like we went from getting 100 likes to getting 1,000 likes
okay.
on a meme post.
All right.
It's like, well, we should just post meme posts
Yeah.
that are actually providing value.
Right.
And
That
so
makes sense.
of those meme posts, we can see the analytics that are saying 90% of the viewers are your followers.
Right.
There's only 10% of outside traction. And so what that shows me is that we've been paying for our ads, and that's what's been generating a lot of our new followers
Okay.
over the years.
Yeah.
But if you're not providing them with interesting and engaging content, then they're just not going to see
Right.
your posts. But
Okay.
if you are putting content that provides them with value in
Yep.
front of them, then Instagram will say this is a valuable post.
Okay.
Even though you're paying money, we're still going to give it to you for free. And
Right.
for the longest time, I was thinking that we're totally getting docked because we aren't. We are paying them. They know we'll pay,
Right.
so they're not giving us anything for free.
Right.
So I don't any longer really fully believe that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah. And I used to say that. Like
Yeah.
a year ago, I would have said,
Yeah.
create a whole totally separate account
Right.
and run your ads through that separate account.
Yeah.
Now for TikTok, I feel I could say that, but also maybe we just haven't found our
Right.
content
Right,
that's like
right.
really fitting the niche. And
Yeah.
so I don't know. It's an interesting game.
Yeah, definitely.
But so I don't know how much exposure your posts get,
Mhm.
but a baseline I would say for like paid advertising, Instagram as the platform is about $5 to $10 for 1,000 impressions.
Okay.
That's called a CPM, cost per milli. So it's
Right.
it's 1,000 impressions.
Mhm.
So we try to stay under $10,
Mhm.
but you can get $5. You can get $2.
Right.
So then it's a question of like how many thousand impressions are your posts getting, and then you can place a value on how much your posts are worth
Okay.
compared to the next best thing, which are paid advertising.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
You've got so many businesses going on. How
Yes.
do you manage your time?
My time is managed. It's very nuts and hectic. I'm
Yeah.
learning time management right now. It's right now. It's all about bringing in the help. Anyone that can come in and be trained right now is helpful. Photography, I pretty much handle that all on my own. There's other things that we can be helped with, social media and such. But I think that having our little team that helps each other at this point has been so helpful.
Yeah.
Just so wonderful. And just, I'm a big writer. I like to write things down. Today, got to accomplish this. Tomorrow, we got to accomplish this. It's a lot, though. It's a lot.
Do you have to, since you're running like kind of 3 businesses, but almost like 2 kind of,
Yeah.
do you feel like you have to compartmentalize those businesses in your head, or do you just look at it all as one initiative?
No, they're all kind of separate entities. Some of them kind of mesh in different ways.
Yeah.
But I kind of look at them all as different things. I had a thought that I was just going to share that I felt like was important, but
Yeah.
I lost it.
It'll come back to you.
For sure. But can you repeat your question?
Do you compartmentalize?
Do I compartmentalize?
Like,
yes.
For example, for me, I run Pure World.
Yes.
And I also am launching this new marketing agency.
Yes.
And they mesh with each other for sure because Pure World has an in-house marketing agency.
Right.
And so now we are just basically going to be providing our services to other people.
Right.
But I have to go and I have to find clients. I have to manage projects and stuff like that.
Right.
And so I have found, like, it took me a little bit of time, like a month of adjusting, but now I have 2 separate entities that I'm like thinking of. And I understand that, this week we've got serious deliverables for Pure World, but maybe, the week before we were really working on launching our website and our e-course.
Right.
So I had to focus on Digital Sunflower, which is the marketing agency that week. And then the next week I understand that I have to put more focus.
Right.
But I always know that those are 2 things hanging over my head.
Right.
Almost like in college, you've got multiple classes.
Right.
And you have to understand that there are different things to be done for all those different ones. And you have to spend time.
Yeah. I'm very
dedicated.
deadline mindset.
Yeah.
So yeah, that totally makes sense. I think where I struggle is separating like work from home.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could be out on a date night and I'm answering emails. And, like I need to not do that.
Yeah.
I need to not worry about that. But
what if it's important?
Exactly.
What if it's life or
exactly.
death?
Like I feel like I always need to be on my phone, and that can take a toll on mental health.
Yeah.
It's just when you're a business owner, you need to always be on your phone. There's always something that needs to be done, and it's hard to shut it off sometimes.
Yeah.
So that's something that I really struggle on because I do love to be on my phone and I love to check these things and but then I'll realize that like 3 hours have passed and I'm sitting on my couch and I'm like, whoa, I meant to like actually relax during this time.
Yeah.
So that's something I struggle with. I'm not so bad at reaching deadlines and getting stuff done. It's the relaxed time that I'm not good at.
I think distancing yourself from the technology, putting your phone
I feel like everyone
away.
struggles with that.
Yeah,
everyone.
totally. And how about your daily schedule?
Daily schedule is nuts.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you have a routine?
I have a little bit of a routine. It changes day to day, but I'd say I wake up, go to the gym, take my dog for a walk,
Nice.
try to have breakfast, and etc. I'll sit down and edit for like a couple hours, depending on if
Really?
I have a shoot or not. I'll sit and edit, and then I'll go do my shoots for the day. I try to be home by like 6, 7 o'clock, dinner, and then we watch an episode of something to try to shut my brain off. And then I'm in bed by like 8:30.
Wow.
I like to just lay in
what
bed
time
and watch
do you
TV.
wake up?
I'll get up usually around like 5:30 in the
Wow.
morning. But that's just because my dog makes me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an early bird.
Yeah. It's a long day. I mean, for me, I just like work, and then I had a really bad sleep schedule for a while where for like actually the last 2 years.
For sure.
Where I would work until like 2 or 3 a.m.
I can't.
And then I'd have to sleep.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Waking up at 5 a.m., what do you like?
I'm not
do you
gonna
think
lie.
that's healthy?
Sometimes I go back to sleep.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll like let the dog out, do what we've got to do, and then I'll sleep for a little bit longer.
Right.
I'll just lay in bed for a little bit longer. I'll scroll on TikTok for like an hour. So sometimes, like I do go to bed so early, so it's like not that big of a deal. To
Right.
wake
If
up
you get
super early.
if you get enough hours of sleep.
I think it's worse when I go to bed super late and then I wake up at like 10 a.m. because then I feel like I've wasted the day. I feel like my day is like over because by the time I like go to the gym, edit photos for 3 hours, it's already like 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then my day's over.
What about dinner? Like, how do you? Sorry, this is kind of crazy.
Dinner's
but like,
easy for me because I take home food from all my
your
shoots.
Do you shoot every day?
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I usually try to take Sundays off, but I am
you're
shooting.
so lucky that you get to bring home food.
That's why I have to go to the gym.
Yeah.
It's because if not, I'm eating out constantly.
Sometimes
I'll have 3 to 4 shoots in a day, and I'm taking home like 15 takeout boxes. But
That's
my
amazing.
fiance makes out way better than me. He eats everything.
I am sure. That
He's
sounds
happy
awesome.
camper with me having this job.
That sounds awesome.
Yes.
All right, Jackie. My last question for you is about Rhode Island.
Yes.
If there was somebody, a friend, who had never been to Rhode Island and they were coming to visit you for a weekend, tell me a little bit about what you would do Friday, Saturday, and then like Sunday as you were bringing them back to the airport. What's the weekend look like?
All right. So we're going to start in Providence. We're going to just have a nice walk around Brown.
Okay.
Around the downtown city. We're going to go to Aguardent.
What's that?
It's a nice restaurant in downtown Providence. It's one of my favorites. It's Portuguese and Guatemalan. It's phenomenal.
Whoa.
And then we're going to go to maybe Chilango's.
What's that?
A Mexican restaurant for some margaritas.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes. And then maybe we hop down to Narragansett, go to George's, have some clam cakes, go walk on the beach, check out the towers.
Okay.
And then maybe we finish in Newport, have a nice little day, just relax. And then we take them to the airport.
Okay.
We're going to have a nice little tour of Rhode Island.
Wow.
Have some of the best eats.
That sounds amazing.
Yes.
Those are some good tips.
Thank you.
You know what, Jackie? I had a really good time talking to you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh my gosh, this is so fun.
Yeah. Everybody who's watching, thank you for watching or listening.
Yes.
This is the Pure World Podcast. If you want to support the podcast, you can shop your sustainably sourced adventure gear at pureworldshop.com. Jackie, do you want to tell them a little bit how they can find you and how they can support what you do?
You can find me at Jackaallack on Instagram, JACKAAALACK. You can also find us at Pinky Swear Co. and Honey Bun Social.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So fun.
All right. See you guys.
Bye-bye.